Hey guys, welcome to Get Busy Watching. I'm your host, Honest Dan. Let's talk movies. Today's review, Hobbs and Shaw.
Who the hell are you?
Bad guy.
The mission has been compromised.
If we stand a chance against Brixton, you guys have to work together.
No way.
This guy's a real ass.
It's directed by David Leitch, known for Deadpool 2 and Atomic Blonde. The cast includes Dwayne Johnson from Fighting with My Family, Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, San Andreas, and will be in upcoming films Jumanji: The Next Level, due out later this year, and Jungle Cruise, due out in 2020. Jason Statham from The Meg, Mechanic Resurrection, and Spy. Idris Elba from Avengers: Infinity War, Molly's Game, Star Trek Beyond, and will be in the upcoming films Dear God, Why, Cats, due out later this year, and 3,000 Years of Longing, due out in 2020. Vanessa Kirby from Mission Impossible Fallout, Me Before You, and Everest. And finally, Helen Mirren from Anna, The Leisure Seeker, Eye in the Sky, and will be in the upcoming films The Good Liar, due out later this year, and The One and Only Ivan, due out in 2020. Before I get into the actual review, I just wanted to share my initial thoughts when this movie was announced. I don't know why Dwayne Johnson needs his own spin-off in the Fast and Furious franchise. I get it, he's a charismatic dude, he looks good throwing a punch, he looks good carrying around a giant gun, but there's nothing wrong with Vin Diesel, there's nothing wrong with Michelle Rodriguez. I think he should leave well enough alone. I also don't understand the point of making Shaw a good guy. Did he not kill one of the more popular characters in one of the Fast and Furious movies? Did he not go on a killing spree at the beginning of Furious 7? You know, killing innocent doctors and nurses just to see his brother? This is not a character that needs to be heroic. He's a villain. Through and through. Let's keep it that way. As for the movie itself, I just think it's okay. I mean, I went in wanting to hate it, but I left the theater thinking I didn't hate it. It's not like it's an incompetent action movie. I just kept thinking that this didn't need to be a Fast and Furious movie. It didn't need to be connected to the franchise. Just name it something else. I mean, Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham in an action movie, you don't need it to be a Fast and Furious movie in order to get asses in seats. Just name it something else. No one's going to give a shit. And I'm perfectly aware that the Fast and Furious movies have gotten over the top in recent installments. But there's a very big difference, in my opinion anyway, between cybernetically enhanced people and hacking cars. Let's talk positives first. Vanessa Kirby is quite possibly my favorite new character in the entire movie. Hattie is a badass. She is tough and she can hold her own in every fight. I'm glad that Kirby got to flex her muscles that she wasn't able to flex in Mission Impossible Fallout. Not that it doesn't make sense, it's not like she was the main character of that movie. But here she is in this one, showing that she can throw down with the best of them, and it's absolutely brilliant. On top of all that, she's really expressive, she's really funny. So honestly, she's the one that the movie should be based on, not Hobbs and Shaw. Helen Mirren is also pretty funny for the brief appearance that she had. Did y'all know that Kevin Hart and Ryan Reynolds are in this movie? They are. And I didn't even know it. And I looked at the IMDb page. And yet that shit took me by surprise. Went right over my head. Give him some credit, Kevin Hart was actually pretty funny. Up until he does the Star-Lord thing from Avengers Infinity War, when he makes his voice deeper to make himself sound more intimidating to Thor.
No, you're not. You will not be taking our pod today, sir.
Well, are you making your voice deeper?
No.
Yeah, Kevin Hart, don't try to steal from Marvel, man. You're not that funny. You're not even Ant-Man funny. You're not even Thor Dark World funny. Even in the second scene that he's in, it sucked out all the joy. Well, you win some, you lose some. At least Ryan Reynolds was hilarious. Dude knows how to make me laugh. Now that I think about it, there is one scene that really stands out and had me howling with laughter. So there's a scene where Hobbs and Shaw have to infiltrate this base, right? And they have to go down 2 separate hallways. Hobbs has it easy. He just has one dude to deal with, whereas Shaw has to deal with a whole room full of guys. Now, obviously they win, but here's the kicker. At the end of both of their hallways, there's a door that has to be accessed simultaneously. So Hobbs has his guy that can open the door, but Shaw has a whole room full of guys, and he has no idea which one of them opens the door. So he has to go through all the faces, just smashing him against the face recognition thing. It's a lot of fun to just see all the bodies pile up and see his increasing frustration. This one's actually a lot of fun. I will also give credit that the climax is a lot of fun. You have all these Samoan warrior guys picking up clubs, beating the bad guys with them after disabling their guns. It's an obvious ploy to get Johnson to take off his shirt and flex his muscles, but I guess if a scene works, it works. Oh, and I absolutely love his mom. Here you have a room full of hot-headed, dick-measuring dudes. And all this woman has to do in order to shut them up is to pick up her cane, smack it on the ground, and raise her voice just a couple of decibels. She is a total badass too. If Vanessa Kirby is the ass-kicking badass, then Hobbs' mom is the badass voice of authority. Honestly, the movie should just be about these two women. I'm far more invested in them than Hobbs and Shaw. Beyond all that, guys, I can't say that this is actually a worthwhile action film. It just doesn't feel like it needs to be in the Fast and Furious franchise. There's nothing about it that makes it stand out. All of the action scenes are quick cuts, there's no unique presentation to them. It just feels stock. Like you could pluck out any scene from this movie and just stack it against every other action movie that both Dwayne Johnson and Jason Statham have been in. There's nothing about this that'll make you go, oh, that's definitely from Hobbs and Shaw. There's nothing like that in this movie. And while the banter between the two characters can be fun at times, I honestly thought it was much better in Fate of the Furious. And you'd think that this movie being the focus, taking that comedy that was so much fun in Fate.
Well, with all due respect, Captain, when this whole thing is over, we're gonna find a location, and I'm gonna knock your teeth so far down your throat, you're gonna stick a toothbrush right up your ass to brush them.
But somehow it not translating here is a huge disappointment in terms of my enjoyability. Especially since Vanessa Kirby's kind of stealing the show. I mean, I guess there's nothing that I hate outright with the movie. It's just kind of a standard action flick. So if that's your thing, if that's your baggage, then hey, don't let me suck out the enjoyment that you have for it. But as for me, I've seen the Bourne Identity movies, which are far more unique and far more hair-raising. I can go back to the other Fast and Furious movies and get better stunts and just something that I know will stick with me, at least on some level. Because nothing sticks with me here. I guess the more I think about it, the movie does kind of steal from other movies. Like, at least with Kevin Hart stealing from Avengers Infinity War, you can argue, well, if I can, steal from that humor, that means my humor's on the same level as theirs. It's not, but good attempt. At least you're stealing from a quality film. But there's a weird scene where you have a cybernetically enhanced Brixton, played by Idris Elba, and he's like chasing Hobbs and Shaw, high-speed chase, and he gets thrown through a public transportation bus in London. This is almost a direct copy of that same scene in G.I. Joe: Rise of Cobra. I mean, again, think about it. They're in super suits, high-speed chase, smashing through public transportation, and no regards to innocent lives that were probably ended. I won't pretend to know why they stole from that movie, but they did. Other than that, yeah, this movie is just kind of bland for my taste. I get it if you're a fan of the movie. I just can't be. I don't know if I recommend it to casual moviegoers, but anyone who's a fan of Johnson and Statham are likely to get a huge kick out of it. I'm just not one of them. So my honest rating for Hobbs and Shaw is a 3 out of 5. Alright guys, so reviews for the week include Them That Follow, Loose, and in commemoration of the upcoming sequel, I'll be reviewing 2017's 47 Meters Down. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. I really appreciate it. Have a great day. Hope to see you soon.